Synchronicity Story Time. Who's ready? Grab a blanket, perhaps some agua, and we're gonna dive in to some juicy cosmic orderliness. As many of you know, I live in Los Angeles, the beautiful city of angels, and my friend Albert, who now lives in Northern California, called me and he said, "Hey Matthew, I'm coming into town and I'd love to spend time with you and perhaps stay at your place for a few days." This is someone I grew up with, someone that I love as a brother, so of course I said, "Come hither, mi amigo." And so he arrives and I pick him up at the airport and he says, "Hey dude, I have a bit of a surprise. We're gonna go meet this guy in West Hollywood." I'm like, "All right, let's go meet this dude." So we arrive at this parking garage at the base of Runyon Canyon, which is a popular hiking spot. And this guy throws off this blanket and unveils a motorcycle with a side cart attached to it. So if you think of like old school Batman and Robin, there was the Batmobile and then Robin was in that side cart. So lo and behold, this is when my friend shares with me that he has, in the last few months, taken up a passion and a hobby for motorcycling. And I'm like, wow, this is out of left field, but it's awesome. And so he goes on to tell me that he has rented this motorcycle and we're going to go out to PCH and we're going to ride this thing into the sunset. And I'm like, all right, hell yeah. And he has helmets, which is also great. So we go out to PCH, we're riding up and down the coastline. It's beautiful, the sun's setting. We're starting to get hungry, as two growing boys would. I am a lover of Thai food, always have been, always will be. And so I jump on Yelp and I look for Thai places nearby. I find this little hole-in-the-wall Thai spot and I'm like, "Yo, let's go get some Thai food." He's like, "Yeah." So we drive to the Thai spot. This is how we talk. We drive to the Thai spot. We have dinner. We're wrapping up dinner. My friend goes to the restroom and I'm kind of just left sitting there for a couple of moments with myself. And I begin to become aware of this very distinct voice. It has a crispness, it has an accent, it's a little upper register. Don't go there. That was not it, but it was fluffy, like the voice was resting on a little pile of clouds. Anywho, I recognize the voice. I've seen Moulin Rouge more than 4 times. It was Ewan McGregor. So I was like, "Oh, shiznat, it's Ewan McGregor." So my friend comes back, we wrap up dinner, we walk outside, and I was like, "Yo, do you know who we were having dinner next to? Ewan McGregor, dude." And he was like, "What?" So at this point in time, standing outside of the Thai spot next to the sidecar, my friend shares with me that the original inspiration for him starting this motorcycle passion was that he was sitting at home watching a docuseries that was Ewan McGregor biking at different locations around the world with his friends and experiencing those local cultures. So the original inspiration for the biking was Ewan McGregor, and here we are at a small Thai food restaurant on PCH with the bike and the sidecar, eating dinner next to Ewan. Synchronicity time, baby. So that's one. The second one is much shorter. I'm living with my girlfriend at the time in North Hollywood. We had recently moved into a new apartment, and our neighbors upstairs had invited us up for game night. Their names were Louis and Vincent. So I'm at school that morning and I'm in a bathroom stall, and if you remember those soba bottles, they had a little message on the bottom of the cap. So I'm in the bathroom stall and I unscrew the cap And I look at it, and I still very clearly remember these moments. It said game night with Louie. The bottle cap said game night with Louie, and me and my girlfriend are literally going upstairs that night for game night with our neighbor Louis. So these are two synchronicity stories that I've experienced. I have a whole basket of synchronicity stories, and I imagine that if you reflect on your own life, you will be able to recall and assimilate some amazing, kind of unexplainable synchronistic occurrences. So what does this all mean? From the Vedic perspective, which is the spiritual tradition that I've studied since I was 19, the Vedas teach that the ultimate truth of life is oneness. We are all one thing. We are all interconnected. We are a vast, unified field of consciousness showing up and expressing itself in innumerable ways. So to me, synchronicity is the symptom. It's a byproduct. It's an expression of this underlying oneness. It just so happens that certain events take place in a much more obvious manner where we go, oh, synchronicity. But it's my belief and my intuitive sense that synchronicity is occurring exponentially all the time. We just happen to pick up on some of them. So how do we stimulate the experience of synchronicity in our awareness? How do we include synchronicity into our reality? 3 main things. 1 is to acknowledge it when it's happening. Go back and acknowledge when it's happened in the past, and set an internal intention to acknowledge the synchronicity that's occurring in your life. Also, acknowledge it when you observe it happening in other people's lives. I can't tell you how many times I see synchronicity occurring in my environment when I'm not even necessarily the driver of the experience. So begin to highlight synchronicity in your experience and watch that expand. Remember, where you put your attention goes, that's where energy flows. So the more that you pay attention to synchronicity, the more it starts paying attention to you. Number 2, clean your vehicle. I'm not talking about your car, although perhaps that also needs a bit of a cleaning. I'm talking about this vehicle, your soul vehicle. If we can take really good care of ourselves and be in the practice of the practices that really support the birth of our next greatest version, if we can be participating in our own evolution, our own progress, if we can continue to clarify and purify this vehicle, we are becoming, in that sense, more sensitive and more receptive to the synchronicity that already wants to show up. So clean this puppy out. For me, that looks like meditation. It looks like yoga. It looks like breath work. It looks like daily moments of mindfulness and checking in with myself. It looks like food. It looks like people. It looks like the thoughts that I notice that I'm clinging onto that don't really serve me. It shows up in all different ways. So how can you clean your vehicle such that you're ever more sensitive to this underlying unity and orderliness? The 3rd main thing is to take action on your true desires. Walk the path that's calling your heart. Take action on your true desires. What is really pulling you? What naturally excites you? What's inspiring to you? Have the courage to walk through and into that path and watch how synchronicity responds. The universe is responding to you. So as you step up and step in and walk into and start to take action on what's truly important to you, even though it may be scary, watch the ways in which synchronicity, nature support, and powers that feel bigger than just little old you, watch how those things start to come in and play a role in the path that you're walking. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for being here now with me. Synchronicity is awesome. I'm excited to share it. Notice how it keeps showing up more and more the more that you honor its presence. Sending you so much love. Thank you for joining me here by the Spangler family fireplace with our Spangler family stockings.